Have you ever wondered what lengths a jealous woman can go to get back at her partner? Well, here is the story of two young couples. Adrian, a young man, can be seen drinking hopelessly as he watches a recorded video of his lover, Belen. She tells him that she can't put up with him no more and has to leave for her own good. Adrian becomes distraught as he heads over to a pub to drink his pains away. The waiter tries to make sure he's okay, but Adrian is too drunk to compose himself. He gets into a fight with a man he bumps into. Luckily enough, much damage isn't done to him when they find out that he is drunk. Fabiana, the bar attendant, comes to his rescue as she offers to take him home. Adrian is too drunk to even utter a proper statement, so Fabiana decides to take him to her house instead. On their way, she learns that Adrian is a conductor, following his demonstrations and passion for music. The next morning, after Adrian had gotten himself, he asked to leave, not even showing a single gratitude to Fabiana. He goes over to his orchestra, where he conducts his usual choir practice, but things weren't clicking, and he walks out of the place. Adrian decides to go to Fabiana's bar. He had come to see her personally. He apologizes for being rude and then thanks her for taking care of him on the night he was drunk. After work, he takes Fabiana to the theater where he conducts his choir. She is impressed as he talks about all the instruments. In the heat of the moment, they share a kiss, and Adrian brings her to his house, where they touch bodies. The next morning, she decides to take a tour around the house. Just as she tours where Belen's workshop is located, Adrian stops her and then offers to make her breakfast. He asks that she spend the night at his place again. A few minutes later, Officer Francisco and his partner come over to investigate Adrian on the disappearance of his ex-girlfriend Belen. They tell him that she didn't leave the country and want to take a proper look at his house if they could find anything. Adrian doesn't believe she is dead, he tells Fabiana, that she left him for another man, and he had tried contacting her family but no reply from them. He calms Fabiana, telling her not to worry as everything is under control. Later that night, just as Adrian is playing his piano, Fabiana goes over to the bathroom to clean up. However, she begins to hear strange sounds coming from the bathtub. She becomes shook and then runs out of the bathtub. Adrian rushes over to comfort her, saying it isn't a big deal and nothing serious. While at work, one of the investigators, who was apparently Fabiana's ex-boyfriend, advises her to steer clear of Adrian, as he is a suspect in Belen's disappearance. She perceives him to be jealous and then debunks his statement, saying Belen left Adrian. One day after Adrian's angelic performance, he introduces Fabiana to his orchestra manager, revealing his plans to leave the choir soon. Back home, Fabiana notices some irregular happenings in the house. Being scalded by a hot shower added to her list of fears. However, she trashes her fear and decides to be free-minded. Just as she plays on the bed, she finds a mysterious key and then decides to wear it on her neck. Just then, the light goes off as Thunders begins to cry. Fabiana becomes really terrified as she tries to figure out the mystery. She is then knocked out by Adrian's dog, Hans. A few hours later, Adrian returns and then takes care of her. She tells him that she is afraid of staying alone and believes the house is haunted. She takes Adrian to the bathroom sink, where strange noises come out from. But Adrian tells her that it is just the wind blowing through the plumbing. The next morning, just as he prepares to leave for work, he receives an emergency call from the DA's office. The police had found a body similar to Belen's and needed him to confirm if it was really her. He goes over to the morgue, and after seeing the body, he tells the police that it isn't Belen. Adrian goes back home, where he reassures Fabiana that Belen is no longer in his life and that she shouldn't worry about her. A flashback takes us back to when Adrian and Belen were together. He was so fond of her, and one time asked her to come along with him to Bogota, where he was selected for an event. It was going to be a life-tasking decision for Belen, but she eventually agreed, with the condition that Adrian took proper care of her. She follows Adrian to Bogota, where he gives a terrific choir performance. After the show, Belen gets to see Adrian talking with his violinist, Veronica. She seems a little bit jealous, but Adrian assures her that he only has eyes for her. They rent a house from a German woman, Emma. She introduces Belen to her dog, Hans, saying she has to take care of the dog if she wants to live in the house. The woman proceeds to show her the rest of the house. The next few days, Adrian and Belen pack in as they find a perfect spot for Belen's workshop. A few days later, Belen goes to visit Adrian at his office. She is shocked to find Veronica, the violinist, in the office with her lover. Although Adrian swears that they weren't doing anything, Belen leaves the office. On their way back home, Belen refuses to talk to him throughout the whole trip. She finally breaks the ice, but Adrian tells her that she is exaggerating and he is just talking to his fellow musician. Belen had her mind made up that there's something going on between them. She tells Adrian that he shouldn't be surprised when he comes back one day, and she is nowhere to be found. Later that night, Adrian apologizes, and Belen forgives him, though she wasn't still satisfied with the whole story, so she decided to go through Adrian's phone. She confronts him when she finds out that Adrian is indeed flirting with Veronica. He apologizes and assures her that she is the only one he loves. He is determined to regain back her trust, but not willing to fire Veronica like Belen suggested. Emma, the landlady, visits, and Belen tells her all about Veronica and if she actually made a mistake following Adrian to Bogota. Emma suggests that she test Adrian since love is absolute. She shows Belen a secret room her husband had built in fear of his enemies. The room had everything, including a camera and speaker that would enable you listen to everything going on outside. Belen decides to record a breakup video to see Adrian's reaction. She hurriedly packs up all her bags and hides in the secret room before he comes back from work. The room had a two-way mirror to spy on Adrian. When Belen notices that Adrian has reacted badly to the video, she becomes rest assured that he loved her truly. She tries to end the ruse, but realizes that she had lost the key, trapping herself in the secret room. She screams out loudly, but not even Adrian could hear her. With no reception and no way to break the door, Belen realizes that she is doomed. Back to the present day, the investigators try to find out the reason for Beacon's disappearance. They get to find out that Adrian had a little quarrel with her prior to her disappearance. Meanwhile, Belen had witnessed Adrian move on and even bring in a new girl, Fabiana. She found a way of communicating by tapping on the pipes and creating a ripple in the bathroom sink. Only Fabiana is able to notice that something is wrong, but Adrian dismisses her intrusive thoughts each time. Fabiana finds the key to the secret room, but she does not know what exactly it is used for. When the ripples got stronger, she eventually figured out that something was wrong. So Fabiana begins asking questions, going that the ripples would give her an answer. She eventually learns that Belen is trapped in the house because she is able to communicate through banging on the pipes. She discovers that there is a secret door behind the mirror, and then locates the keyhole. But as Fabiana is ready to open the door, she pauses and decides not to rescue Belen because she might lose Adrian in the process. Belen screams from within, insulting Fabiana and pleading that someone rescues her. Officer Francisco's partner comes over to meet Adrian. He tells him that they had given him full control of the case. He threatens that if anything happens to Fabiana, he'd kill Adrian. On the other hand, Fabiana decides not to tell anyone about Belen. She recently figured out that Belen had become unresponsive. Meanwhile, the investigator comes in with pictures of Adrian and Veronica together. Fabiana is plunged with jealousy when she sees a photo of Adrian kissing Veronica. Fabiana decides to go check on an unresponsive Belen. As she goes inside the secret room, she finds Belen lying on a bed. In fear that Belen might be dead, she goes closer to check up on her. Unexpectedly, Belen knocks Fabiana out. With a bottle rendering her unconscious, she quickly leaves the room as she locks her in. Belen looks at the mirror one last time, as her face had become really pale. Adrian comes back from work. He is led by Hans to the bed, where the secret key is placed. He sees the mysterious photo of him and Belen on the mirrored door as he wonders. The movie ends with Belen sitting alone on the beach, as she appreciates nature and freedom. Meanwhile, a new guest, Fabiana, is trapped as she screams for rescue.